Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the next Satsang and Guided Meditation. It's awesome seeing all your faces again, and Anita made apology. So let's just do a quick check-in. How has your week been? What's been up? Vanessa?
Hi, everybody. I had a good week. Nothing new happened. Things are looking good. Plans for the future are coming together. I'm having a session with Fiona this Friday, which I'm very excited about. So yes, I'm looking forward to the week ahead.
Cool. Fantastic. Awesome.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, it's been a few weeks where I wasn't able to join, but I'm very glad I'm here today. I've had a good week. Yeah, I actually have. But I'm looking forward to this next week after today.
Awesome. Welcome back. Nice to have you back.
I've actually had a good week. Again, I decided I'm going to have a good week, so I have had a good week. But just something rather disturbing happened, and I'm actually going to talk to you more about it, Fiona, when I see you. Okay. A lady, and she said she was running a special on Lenormand, or whatever it is, readings. You know Lenormand? It's a type of tarot card reading, anyhow.
Okay.
And she, so I said, okay, I'll, book me a reading. And she does it, she does it via, obviously, WhatsApp.
Okay.
And she sends a picture of 2 spreads of cards, and then she explains it on WhatsApp, which is fine. But my problem is it was so negative. And whilst I'm trying to be happy, and whilst I'm actually am happy, negative stuff, I found it very disturbing. So anyway, I'll talk to you more about it, Fiona, when I see you when you get down to Durban.
Cool.
Other than that, good week. Thanks.
Good. Good. Nikki.
Excuse me. I've had a good week. But quiet in the office, so we've been quiet at work. So I've been working on the office, been painting office, and hopefully we'll get that all done today. So that's one room finished. So yeah, it's been quite a productive week, even though I haven't had a lot of work.
Okay. It's amazing how spirits sometimes take other things away, and then you can get to do things guilt-free because you're not taking away.
Exactly. Yeah, it's been great. It's actually makes it fun.
Yes, and it's like, okay, so now I have time for this, and then okay, now not time for this, back to clients. So yeah. That's how we must just not be in the flow, and then everything happens. But when we put too much pressure on ourselves, I have to do this, and I have to see clients, and I have to do this, and then it just becomes too much. So
perfect week.
Good.
Spiritually designed.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, Maria.
I also had a good week, and I did a little bit more work with 3 cards that you had drawn last week. The boredom, loss. I can't remember what this middle one was. Denial. Yeah, sorry, denial. And I just found, thank you. I just found it was really valuable going to the cards. I actually had the card deck myself and just reading through the booklet and just journaling a little bit about them because they really had quite an impact on me. And I just found more coming out. So I felt like last week's session and today I've just kind of joined somewhere. But yeah, I just continued last week right up until now. So looking forward to today. So thank you.
Wonderful. It's nice to see you looking bright and chirpy and energized. So wonderful. Fantastic. Mickey.
Hi, morning everyone. Yeah, good week. It flew by really quickly. And yeah, that was
That's
because I
when
was
you're
on
having
leave.
fun and not having to work for a
Exactly.
week, eh?
Exactly. And tomorrow's back to work again, so sad face emoji. Thanks.
Okay, well, welcome. A check-in from me. So in my processing of the move and the transition, first we have to get to the decision, and then everything propels forward. And I do things a lot on trust. And saying my silent prayers to Spirit, to God and the angels, and please help, and let everything work out and whatever. And I can't remember who I spoke to this week, but I sent a message to say, the bottleneck has been cleared. Because it felt like my prayers was going up somewhere and it got lost in translation or lost in the courier angel might have had to stop somewhere else. But it felt like there was a lot of positive movement forward. And it's like Sylvia helped me design an ad for the Odyssey magazine, and that was sort of my welcoming gift from her to relaunch myself in Durban. And then Odyssey magazine said they'll publish one of my articles in the next edition, and I thought, yes.
Wow.
And then the wellness conference group said they approved me doing a video for the next conference. I thought, yes, but it all happened sort of in the same day. And I thought, okay. I feel I get applause from Spirit, and there's support and there's help and there's like a relaunch taking place with positive energies. And I guess with that relief and just being in awe, I just created a release. And then the next 3 days I spend just releasing the emotions, all that built up. Because you have to be, not you have to be, but it's like, takes a lot of strength and you have to put in a lot of energy. And then when you see, okay, there's help on the other side. There's now strings being pulled that I didn't know was being pulled. And it seems all positive. So yes. But yeah, so the next 3 days I just released the emotions that got built up. So overall, good week. But also, like Maria, then worked on the 3 cards. And also there's been like more client appointments. And one thing that I realized is like, and it's something that Barbara and myself have spoken of before. It's like I must not watch news. I must not listen to other people's stories. I must not make others' reality my reality. Because in the beginning, I think I spoke to Beryl. Like, it's like when I look at the whole or what happens out there, it's fear, and you don't know what business is going to do. But it's like I mustn't make that reality my reality. I must just do what I do, and everything will be taken care of. And the more I stepped into the trust of that, the more proof there's been shown to me that I can trust that. I can trust my own process. I can trust that I do have support. I can. So I realized, okay. Just have to remember again, I mustn't listen to other businesses not necessarily making it. Other people having other realities, it's not necessarily mine. And it was for me, it was a good reminder. Don't fall for other stories, because we create our own story. And that's the one thing that I realized what these Sundays also helps me with. It's a reminder, and we need reminders, because we don't always remember all these things, but we need a reminder of our co-creator abilities, and that we do co-create with spirit, and it's not a lonely journey, and it's to remind us of our creator abilities and what we are co-creating with spirit going forward, and what type of experiences are we calling in forth and going forth. Yeah. So that is my quick check-in. And what? So this morning I sat and just connected with the group energy, and I decided to draw from the Osho Zen Tarot Cards. It is what Verena doesn't like. I can remember on the times that we were together, it's like if I choose this, I just can't get this guy. But I like Osho Zen. So, yeah. So I asked her for, I thought, okay, I actually like this 3-card spread because it tells a story, and we've got something to follow. So I again drew us 3 cards to work with today for this week, Tuesday. And the first card that I drew is Playfulness. And it's a little, it looks like a clown. The faces are like a clown, and she's doing playful stuff, totally maybe clowning around, but not taking life seriously. And that's what we tend to do when we go through certain experiences, or when we look at the news and stuff. Okay, so life is rarely as serious as we believe it to be. And when we recognize the fact, it responds by giving us more and more opportunities to play. So yes, I get that we need to do things in a playful energy, with not believing the heaviness or the dread or the whatever. And we've been going through a period of lots of transformation and change, but the energies going forward is to do it playfully, because when we take the lightness with us, and we just create a lot more opportunities. So the woman in this card is celebrating the joy of being alive, and that's also a decision, as Barbara said. Like a butterfly that has emerged from its chrysalis into the promise of the light. She reminds us of a time when we were children, discovering seashells on the beach and building castles in the sand without any concerns that the waves might come and wash them away in the next moment. She knows that life is a game, and she is playing the part of the clown right now. No sense of embarrassment or pretense. When the page of fire enters your life, it is a sign that you are ready for the fresh and new. Something wonderful is just on the horizon, and you have just the right quality of playful innocence and clarity to welcome it with open arms. And these cards have been following one another. It's like, so the next card that I drew is Innocence. It's like a Zen master looking at a cricket, or no, sorry, a praying mantis sitting on his finger. So first playfulness and now innocence. The old man in this card radiates a childlike delight in the world. There is a sense of grace surrounding him, as if he is at home within himself and with what life has brought. He seems to be having a playful communication with the praying mantis, on his finger, as if the two of them are the greatest friends. The pink flowers cascading around him represents the time of letting go, relaxation, and sweetness. They are the response for his presence, a reflection of his own qualities. The innocence that comes from a deep experience of life is childlike, but not childish. The innocence of the children is beautiful, but ignorant. It will be replaced by mistrust and doubt as the child grows and learns that the world can be a dangerous and threatening place. But the innocence of life, lived fully, has the qualities of wisdom and acceptance of the ever-changing wonder of life. So they talk about the same qualities that we need to approach the next stage of our life with. And then the last one is ripeness. And it's plums that ripe and ready to fall or be squeezed for its juices. So, when the fruit is ripe, it drops from the tree by itself. One moment it hangs by a thread from the branches of the tree, bursting with juice. The next moment it falls, not because it has been forced to fall or has made an effort to jump, but because the tree has recognized its ripeness and simply let it go. When this card appears in a reading, it indicates that you are ready to share your inner riches, your juice. All you need to do is relax right now where you are and be willing for it to happen. This sharing of yourself, the expression of your creativity can come in many ways, in your work, in your relationships, your everyday life experiences. No special preparation or effort on your part is required. It is simply the right time. I think it's just beautiful messages.
They really are.
For us, and they all seem to talk about the same lightness of energy, and the lightness is created because of the period of letting go. So doing the inner work, letting go of those stuff, processing whatever we need to process, is creates then this energy. And the card, the last card that I took away was the sorrow card, and it was like, if we take away the sorrow or the disappointments or things that we experience, that is what we are left with. Sometimes people will say, but I don't know how to be happy, or I don't know how to trust again, or I don't know how to become playful again. But it is like us being an onion with these many layers, and as we shed the layers that we are not, that we adopted as children, thinking, okay, to cope, I need to distrust, I need to have this protection, I need to have all these false beliefs to keep me safe. When we drop all that, that which is at our core is this type of energy. It's and I think somewhere in the Bible or whatever, they also say you have to become like a child. It's becoming that childhood innocence is the closest that we can get to the source energy. It's not all the projections, all the stuff that we build up around that to protect that. It is let that go and let this shine, let this come out, let this flower, let this ripen, and not fear that, because this is also our true authentic selves. At the core, we are just that which we are. But do we hide it through mask or, as I mentioned, pretense? And it's like, okay, so I can just be my jolly self. I can just approach things differently. I don't have to be this which was in a box. It can be outside the box. And look at life totally different, as if you're seeing it for the first time, like a child, like, making an adventure of it, making a game out of it. And for me, like, I'm counting the sleeps, but also very much aware that, and that's what the Zen master said, is like, you have to feel at home inside. It's not me wanting to create a home somewhere else. It's like, I have to come home here, and then I have my home wherever I am. Create that feeling. So I'm very much aware that I need to participate in this. I cannot expect a place to make me feel a certain way. I cannot expect certain people to make me feel. I have to feel that and then take that there. But also know that, so it's the beauty and the gift that letting go affords us. And I can feel the rightness. I can, again, it's like a few weeks ago, I think I mentioned it. It's like I felt that like I was hanging on a thread, and that thread snapped. But I didn't fall to mush at the bottom. It's like, okay, and now I'm set free. So now I can fly and fly where I want to fly. So that is what I take away from it. Please enlighten me with what you are taking away for you about this, or what do you see in it, read in it, feel in it?
For me, I just thinking about that last card, the takeaway, and the taking away sorrow. I think it's like what Barbara had said last week, that it's a choice to move away from the heavy, the dark, the sorrowful experiences, and choose playfulness, innocence, and the ripeness, I suppose, follows when you make the choice.
Yes.
The falling it'll happen, the falling into your gifts, into the fullness, into, that will naturally happen. Like you said, you don't have to do it. The tree just lets it go, and it just is in the state that was designed to be.
Yeah. It creates a little bit of a fear, because you don't know what's going to happen, because it's the unknown, because it's something that you held on to, so it's familiar. That is unfamiliar.
Yeah. You don't know if the fall's going to kill you on the way down. Like you said, if you're going to land and splash, and the juice is going to just hit the deck all over the place.
Because you have a sense of, this is going to be the end of me, but it's the beginning of you. So it's And to add to what Barbara said, it's like for entertainment, because when I do become bored, I can think, okay, so what else can I listen to on YouTube or whatever? So I was listening to Pisces August 2020 tarot readings. Okay, I had to laugh with some of them, because the things that people tell other people, it's like, ooh, this is drama. Ooh, I see you're sitting at a coffee shop and you're with your man, and somebody's coming up and approaching you and causing this drama, and he's not being faithful, and this is going to happen, and the drama and the things that they create in the stories, and I think, it must have put people in so much fear, and it's like, and then doubt, and then distrust, and then all this, and I thought, I did it for, I think, entertainment purposes. And the one was so far removed from the other one, and the other one, I thought, okay, it's like people must be liking this or eating this up or thinking, okay, yeah, what else should I fear? What else should I look out for? What else should I, else should I give my power away? How else, how many more sleepless nights can I create? Nothing was to bring peace or harmony or higher understanding or wisdom or anything. Okay. This is what not to listen to. But yeah, okay. You wanted to say something, Barbara? Yeah.
Yeah, I was just thinking again about this card reading. I'm actually going to burn it after this thing. Because I printed it out and I'm actually just going to burn it. Because while I'm sitting here listening to that, I'm just thinking, you know, and it came to me as well while I was listening to the reading, that none of this is actually my reality. And so I can make this my reality, but I don't choose to, because I actually create my own reality. So this is somebody putting a reality on me because of an arrangement of cards that has nothing whatsoever to do with my reality. Nothing. It wasn't me in any shape or form. So I've realized that you're right. We owe it to ourselves, actually, not to believe all this stuff. So I'm burning it. That's me.
Well done, Nikki.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had a somewhat similar experience this week. And Barbara saying how she chose happiness. It kept jumping into my mind. Twice we've had visitors from Joburg who have, you know, now we're in the house, they want to come and see the house, and they immediately go to, oh, well, you know, at least you've got this now, and I'm sure things are going to get better now, and I'm just not in that reality anymore. I feel fantastic. I feel like we've peaked now, you know, we've seen the worst, it's gonna get better now, and whenever they come with it, oh, you know what, at least you're here, and I'm sure things are getting, you're like, kind of like, what, who are you talking to? What reality are you trying to portray here? It's not know who I am. I don't know what you're on about. It's and I think it's like what Barbara said, it's just that I chose to believe, and I feel it, I absolutely feel it, that is over now. That is so history now. And then when people keep bringing it up, so I don't know who you're talking about. What are you on about, you know? So yeah, it's I don't know why twice this week I had to be reminded of that. Maybe to appreciate that I'm not there anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, twice this week I was reminded of our reality a few months ago. It actually wasn't all that long ago.
And it shows you how you shifted. And how you didn't bring that reality into your now, because we can bring our past, we can carry our past in baggages with us to our new places, to our new whatever, or you can leave it behind. And it shows you how even others might still hold on to stuff of you, which you have let them go of. So, and sometimes it's also a test to see, okay, how much of this did you let go, and are you still in your now? Can they spoil your now moments? It's like, will you fall back and feel sorry for yourself? Will you go and have a pity party? Will you are you going to bring those cases in? No. I let that shit go, and I've got no intention in having it in my new house. This is a new life. This is a new adventure. This is ours. The period of losses and this is over. And it's like, so, but others might still be traumatized, and it might fear and control them, because you know that's something that has happened to you guys, and we must also be fearful, you know what, and that's not the energy to live in. That's not how we create. So, and that's why I say I became very much aware of others' energies and ways of seeing and thinking compared to mine. And I know mine's far-fetched, and some people think I'm cooked in the head, but I prefer to be that way. because I don't like to live the way they live. I don't like to live in fear and all that. So, and that's why I like our conversations, and I like participation in the energies, because each of us say something that has an influence on the others for the next week. And luckily it's positive influences, because we need that positive reminder. We need to hold the light for one another, so that when we get to those tests and experiences, okay, I see you. You're not going to rob me from my joy. It's not to allow others to rob you from your joy. And it's yesterday Zelda brought me some goodies that I can, the beautiful products that I can bring down to Durban to sell. And we were talking about this, and I said, you know what? Usually I ask the archangels, where do you think I should be? What's my next purpose? Or what's my next plan? Whatever. And I follow like a good soldier, just the direction, and I just do. And I said, this time, I did no consulting. I didn't ask anyone permission. It's like, I would like to do this for my life, for my happiness, for my joy, because I choose to, not because anyone else. I don't care who wants me to sit on the moon. I'm not going there. I'm going where I want to go. So, and I said, it's the first time I made such decisive decision that it's like, okay, and then you guys just need to be on the program where I'm going. Just help me, please.
And I did.
Obstropolis or whatever. And she said, you know what, that might be the whole design of this, to get me to finally make decisions for myself. And then get the support for that and whatever. And it is. So we tend to sometimes give our power away and listen, oh, do you think this is good for me? Okay. And it's to stop doing what others think it's good for you. To start discerning what is good for you and doing that. Doing it because it brings joy to you, not to please others or to be a goody two-shoes or whatever. Yeah. So I thought that was funny. Okay. Anybody else who would like to add anything, or we've covered that? Okay, cool. So again, we're on the last few of the Parables of Kryon. He made this book way too small. I think he could have had a Parable of Kryon #2 as well. Can't just have one, because I just love parables. I just love stories. It's like this playful, innocent, childlike. We all like to hear stories, and the stories trigger some feel-good feelings and empower us. So it's today's one is number 15, and it's David the Indian. Here is a story about an Indian who lived on a lovely island with everything he needed. But his curiosity to know more about his surroundings separated him from the rest. There was an Indian named David who lived on an island. And for those of you who wish to know about, more about why an Indian was named David, you will have to analyze that later. Cosmic laughter. Yeah. The island that David lived on was a good one and was abundant. David was of a lineage of royalty on the island, for his grandfather was the chief. David lived a fine life on this island. There was an abundance of food, and much grew and could be eaten. David's village and his tribe lived well for many, many years. Now the island was surrounded by an odd attribute. There was a great fog bank that was very thick, encasing it, starting 3 miles from the shore. It surrounded the island completely, and since the fog never came onto the shore, the days on the island was generally sunny and clear. The fog remained offshore at the same distance from year to year, like an ominous sign, and no one could ever see beyond it. David grew up with this fog, and those in the village had experienced in generation after generation. They did not understand it, but they feared it, since it often there would be a villager who would journey into the fog and never return. Even as a boy, David can remember one of the older tribesmen who was near death and who chose to get into his canoe and go into the fog. There were many stories of what would happen if you went into the fog, mostly told at night by the light of the campfire. The villagers were taught that if anyone ever went into the fog, the rest of the villagers were to go into their houses and the village and their villages and not watch. You see, there was a great fear around this evil fog. But David, being royalty, got to watch these few events with the elders as a child, and later as a teenage boy. But the only events he really remembered was the time the old one went into the fog. He remembered that the old man went into the fog bank and saw him pick up his paddle as his canoe slid gently into the fog. And as expected, he never came out again. Just as the elders had said, no one who ventures into the bank ever returns. And those of royal lineage stayed for many hours watching the fog after the old one had disappeared into it, waiting for something that was foretold to happen. For often, after a time, they would hear a giant muffled noise and a fearful sound that would strike fear into their hearts, a roaring that they could not understand. David would remember what it sounded like for the rest of his life. Who knows what that could have been? Perhaps a monster on the other side of the fog bank. Perhaps the sound of a giant whirlpool or waterfall, just waiting to claim the lives of those who would go through it. Now it seems odd that David, in his 34th year, would have made the decision he did, but he felt a pull to the fog. He felt that there was something more to his life that he was missing. Perhaps it was a truth that he had been lying dormant for years, and somehow the fog was the answer. It is true, no one had ever come back, but that didn't mean they were gone, thought David. And so David set out with courage, without telling any of the elders or villagers, to see what was on the other side of the fog bank. He got into the canoe slowly and gave a ceremony in preparation for what he was about to do. He thanked God for his life and for the revelations of what was to come. He knew that no matter what happened to him, at least he would have knowledge, and that was what drove him on. And so David paddled silently and gently towards the fog bank. No one was watching, for he did not announce what was taking place. Soon he was on the brink of the fog, and it was coming ever nearer. Then David noticed a strange thing. No one had ever purposely gotten close enough to the bank before to observe anything like this, but it was pulling him into it. The element of fear was by the surprising event started to grip him. David did not need his paddle anymore, and he picked it up and put it into his boat. The canoe disappeared into the fog with him in it. It was still and quiet while David was in the fog bank, and the current kept pulling him forward. It became darker and darker, and then David began to reconsider what he had done. I am a young man. I have failed my elders, for I was in royal lineage, and have chosen a foolish, foolish thing. David was now afraid, and the fear came over him like a blanket of death. And the blackness started creeping into his brain, and he shook with coldness and emotions as the canoe sped silently along by itself. David was in the fog bank for hours, and it seemed like it would never end. He cowered in his canoe, for he knew that he had made a mistake. What if nothing ever changes? He said to himself. What if I'm here for all eternity and starve in this canoe? David suddenly had a vision of fear, where all those who went before him were now floating endlessly in their canoes, going in circles around the island as skeletons in the dark fog. Would he see old one from years ago? Would anything ever change? Oh, where is the truth that I sought? Cried David out loud in the fog. Then it happened. David came out to the other side of the fog bank. He was astounded by what he saw, for there in front of him was an entire continent, clear, filled with many villages and villages, as far as he could see. He could see smoke coming from the smokestacks and hear them playing on the beach. There were lookouts stationed along the fog bank who saw him immediately as he came through. They observed him and sounded their horns in celebration to let the others know on the shore that another brave one had come through the fog. Then David heard a giant roar come from the land, a roar of celebration, a roar of honor. They surrounded him with canoes and threw flowers. When he got to the beach, they came and looked and took him and put him on their shoulders and celebrated his coming through the fog. David, the royal one, became a new, enriched life that day. The author's postscript. Now you might say, I know what this parable is about. It's about death, isn't it? No, it isn't. This parable is about coming into the new energy and even about ascension. It's also about being content within your small group and never venturing out of it due to the fog of the unfamiliarity. It's about what is before you if you wish to walk the path. For in front of each of you is the fog bank, which sometimes is your fear and other times your unchanging nature. Each kind of fog is different challenge and lessons for each person in varying degrees. What is it that gives you the most fear? For many of you, it is the fear of succeeding and the fear of being on your contracted path, the fear of abundance. Perhaps it is the fear of enlightenment itself. Maybe it's the fear of change. We encourage you to walk into this fear standing tall. Whatever it is that gives you the most anxiety, that you know is your life's lesson, must be walked into face first with courage, knowing that this is simply a facade. The fear of the fog bank is a parable. On the other side, it is a celebration. But moving into it sometimes creates a time of darkness, a transitional time to allow you to adjust to what is coming. Those around you will warn against it, telling you that it is not for you. But the part of you that knows the truth, and some of you will seek it out for yourself. Why does Kryon bring you such a parable? It is to exemplify responsibility in the new age of ours. Now is the time of enablement, of responsibility for the entire energy of the planet. And it is time for you to recognize your path. It is time to look into the eyes of your adversaries and say, I know you. I know who you are. And I choose to disengage from your energy. This is where the tests are passed and where the vibrations are raised for the planet. For there is no sweeter spot on this planet than for you to recognize who you are. For all of the things that give you grief now can be changed by your intent to make it so. The end. So what are you taking away from the parable that actually leads on to also the cards that we've drawn and the discussions that we've had? Barbara?
Yeah, it's very much on the same theme, isn't it? Of creating our own reality and not believing anything that you know is not true, basically. That's and not believing fear either, not having fear to venture out and seek something different, you know, to be locked in a comfortable situation and being fearful is not the answer. Crossing over that situation to see what's on the other side, the fear goes and you're much better off, much more comfortable. So that's what I took from it. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. it's difficult to sometimes to not feel the fear. It's to feel the fear and do it anyway, regardless of the fear being there. Because it's like human nature to try and protect us from the unknown, and we think it serves us, but it doesn't. We have to go through it, because fear does come up. It's designed in the matrix, but it's to see it for what it is, and it's to do it anyway. It's to follow your internal compass and to trust that is right. And venture. We need to find out the truth of stuff and the truth of who we are, and not believe. And that's the repetition in this parable. It's like not to believe others' stories, their fears, their beliefs. Their reality is not your reality, and there's rewards for those that venture beyond that limited limitations that has been created by others' realities, others' beliefs, others' thought forms, others' whatever. So I've sent on the WhatsApp group, the Satsang WhatsApp group, something that Vanessa shared now. She said, reminded her of this meme, and it says, ignore people who threaten your joy. Literally, ignore them. Say nothing. Don't invite any part of them into your space. And it's to live by that. To really know what is allowable and not allowable in your sanctuary, in your mind, in your emotions, in your house. It's to set boundaries of, I don't participate in that fear. I don't participate in that drama. No, I say no. And then look at the playfulness that we can create by being our innocent and explorative selves, and allow this the ripeness to naturally happen. All this is natural. Nothing is forced. Nothing is, and it's not how the norm is. Society teaches us to work hard and to stress and to worry and to not be playful. That's what children do. You have to grow up and you can't be innocent. So that's where you're ignorant and you're taken advantage of, and you can't be like this. This is like a no-go zone. And then the ripeness and letting go. No, you must hold on to all these stuff, and you don't know what's going to happen. And yeah, it's not the norm. So you have to do what everybody else is not doing, and then you're doing the right thing. I guess my take on it. It's like I saw a meme on Facebook this week. It was something to the effect of a little girl asking her mom, am I crazy or something? And she said, I hope so. Because you have to be different than the others. Then you're going to have a joyful life. Can't be like the others and normal. No, we have to set the new normal. We have to make that which we are living the new norm. And somebody has to set the example of thinking out of the box and being your authentic selves and enjoying that. Choosing joy, as Barbara said, choosing joy, choosing joy, choosing joy. And the experiences that will bring you joy. Anybody else would like to add anything for today, or what you're taking away? Yes, Vanessa.
Yeah, I love the whole journey theme. The journey into the unknown. It really resonates with me. I've got a journey coming up into the unknown. So I just love that, and that also reminds me of I think I've said it before. Who said it? It was Joe Dispenza. The unknown has never let me down. It's one of my favorite quotes. So yes, I really enjoyed it. I love the fact that you go unsure into it, but you take your fear and you go with it, and you trust. And even if you are fearful, then in the midst of this change, yes, you can be fearful, but then you trust that something, or even if you don't trust that something great will come, it will. Beautiful. Thank you. I love that parable.
Thank you. Yeah, it's like, as the Ripeness card said, it will automatically just happen. We don't have to do anything. And it's like with him also, when he went up to that fog, and then the fog just took him. And there's a time where you just go. And it's like when I said I felt like there was a bottleneck, and then suddenly the bottleneck was cleared. And now it just feels like positive movement forward. And it's like sometimes we set intentions, or we set intent. I think Abraham talks about the flow that we create, and with what we do, we make the flow faster or we make it slower. It's like whatever attention and energy we give to that, it creates the flow. And with just, it's like I just felt, and then I thought, oh, I've put a lot of energy into this, and the flow is now going quickly, and now I have to do certain things, and things are happening. But yeah, it's to, okay, yes, there's a response from the outside, and it's positive, and it's like, yes, I felt that fear, go through it, and then there's positive. I love that quote. I think you must write it for me so that I can send it to the group, because lovely quote, where the unknown has never let me down, something like that. Yeah. So
perfect.
And it
I'll
is.
send it to you.
Yes, it's I've had similar experiences. So so an exciting journey is ahead of us in whatever we choose, wherever our boat is and wherever it's going next. And even if you're at the same place, you're not in the same place. You're different in the same place, but you can make that place whatever your emotion is. And something that I want to add to something that Barbara said, it's I can't remember in which of the Kryon books, he said that somebody at your vibration or higher can help you or heal you. Somebody of a low vibration can't. And it's just to discern who you lend your ears out to, because you tend to see the vibration that they are operating at by the output, and does it fit or doesn't it fit, and then discard. And no, it's just in an energy that they might be at the moment. But claim your power and make your choice not to believe it. And Bob's your uncle. These funny sayings that we have. Oh, yes, lovely. Okay. So, I wish you the most beautiful week ahead. And may it be playful, innocently playful, and start recognizing and seeing that which is ripening in your life. Be it you, in what you want to share, whatever. Whatever emotions comes up, know you have choice. Feel it and go through it anyway. And I look forward to seeing you, Vanessa, on Friday. And yeah, have an awesome week. Lots of love and joy to you. Welcome to today's guided meditation. I want you just to become comfortable, closing your eyes and breathing in deeply. This guided meditation I want you just to become more and more relaxed, more and more at ease, more and more at peace. And for the next few moments, just concentrate on your breathing. With slow, deep breaths in and out. Relaxing, relaxing, relaxing ever more with each out breath. Expanding your abdomen as you breathe in and contracting your abdomen as you breathe out. As you just detach, release, and let go of all the past week's events. Becoming more and more relaxed, more and more at ease. And I want you now to visualize yourself stepping into the most beautiful garden, forest area with lush green grass, tall, majestic trees, flowers and butterflies. And I want you to pick up the essence of your childlike innocence, activating the joy in your heart. And allowing yourself just to be playful within this beautiful environment where you can move freely, play amongst the leaves, swing in big trees, dance in the forest. Allow yourself to express your playful nature, that which brings joy and laughter. And feel nature responds to that. The wind dancing with you. The sun smiling upon you. Feeling free to express your true authentic nature. Allowing the joy in your heart to pump to each cell, atom, and molecule in your body. To fill your body with the cells of joy, happiness, lightness. Be aware of the colors of joy is expressing itself around you. Allowing yourself just to be creative in the way you choose to express yourself today. Walk with lightness in your heart and a spring in your step. And venture playfully through this forest area. Which animal friends come to join you? Which animal friend is playing with you? If there's any specific animal that you choose to connect with, go call them in now. Absorbing more peace and joy. Visualize yourself now lying on a blanket of all color leaves with your animal friends and looking up at the sky and seeing the shapes that appears within the clouds. What messages is there? How's the universe responding to your joy, to your happiness, to your nature, your true nature, your innocent, truthful self, your authentic self? And allow yourself just to see the humor, the lightness, the funniness of everything. Breathe in the feel-good energies that is available to you in this moment in time. In this moment, just be totally free. Observe the world through your joyful, loving eyes. Then with your playful spirit, I want you to jump back into your body. Back into this now, back into this timeline. And I want you to visualize a magical bubble of light coming in all around you. The colors of the rainbow. And from the base of this bubble of light, I want you to visualize a rainbow colored cord of light going down deep into the earth. And wrapping it around the crystal of your choosing, feeling those crystalline energies and the support of Mother Earth coming back up in support of your joyful vibration. And sending sparkling energies in your aura, in this bubble of light. Feel the magic in the air. Magic in this moment. Magic in your true, authentic expression of yourself. And when you're ready, you may rotate your hands, rotate your feet, stretch and make sure that you're properly back into your body. And when you are, you may open your eyes. I still need to practice playing. I just know how to play for a short period of time. And I think, what else can I play? I've done everything that I could imagine to do playfully. And I chose to spend some time with Artemis and Electra. So I played with them. I haven't connected with them in a while, and I've been missing them. And I just had fond memories of just looking at them, and it's like when they mock play and mock fight, and when they climb trees and all that. And it always brings joy to my heart just seeing others happy and playfully. So, yeah. What did you get from your meditation? What did you get up to? Who did you spend time with? What did you see? Yes, Barbara.
Yes, I had a very joyful meditation. I was dancing in a forest, and there were just bluebells. So it must have been in another country where they grow bluebells.
Beautiful.
All over just dancing in this forest of bluebells. And then I sat down, and this amazing brown rabbit came and sat next to me. And then I just wanted to start crying. I got really emotional sitting next to this rabbit. I didn't get any specific messages, but I've had so many messages throughout this whole morning that have fixed so much in my mind, got rid of all the fear. I mean, everything about this whole satsang has been about clearing away this negative thing that happened to me this week. And I'm just so grateful for that. You know, I knew you would, but...
Oh, thank you. Awesome meditation. Thank you, Barbara. Thanks. Anybody else would like to share their feelings? No? Okay. For the second time around. Until you call forth to join again. Thank you for your nice spirit and your forgiving nature, and may you have a joyful week. May joy just increase and just becomes big. And yes, it's like when I sat with my cats, I also became tearful, but it was tears of joy. So if you have any tears this week, may it be tears of joy. May you really see the magic in the air and the magic that's available to you. Okay. Bye.
Thanks, Fiona.
Bye.
Bye.
Cheers. Thanks, everybody.